everyone, this is Laurie for BeckyHiggins.com, and today we're going to talk about how to add digital stickers to your layout. Now, digital stickers are just like physical stickers, and they're little designs that you can add to your layout to add a little bit of creativity to it. So to get started, I've already have this layout all ready to go. It has my pictures and my cards already clipped into my template. If you don't know how to do this, then look back at our previous tutorial on how to add pictures and cards to a template. The first thing I'm going to do is add a heart and an arrow sticker to my layout. And to do that, I'm going to go up to File and Open, or you can use the hotkey commands of Command and O if you're on a Mac, or Control and O if you're on PC. And I'm going to navigate to the place where I have my kit. I'm using the Adventure Awaits kit, and I'm going to open up this Embellishments folder and the stickers folder. And I'm going to use this heart and this arrow, and I'm going to select both of them by clicking on one and then holding my Command key or my Control key if I'm on a PC and selecting the other, and then clicking Open. Now you'll see down here in the photo bin that it has all of my files that are open. So I have the thumbnail of my layout, I have the thumbnail of the heart, and I have the thumbnail of the arrow. And if I click on any one of these, then it will bring those up into the main screen. The first thing I'm going to do is add this heart sticker to my layout. And to do that, I want to first make sure that I have my top layer on my layout selected. So I'm going to click on my layout in the photo bin, and I'm going to make sure that I have this top layer in the layers palette selected. After I do that, I'm going to switch over to my heart sticker, and I'm going to make sure that I have the move tool selected. So you can either click on this icon here, or it's the hotkey command V. And with my move tool selected, I'm going to click and drag it down to the thumbnail of my layout and let go. And you will see that this heart has popped up on the very top of my layout. Now with my move tool still selected, I can take it and I can drag it where I want to. Now I like the size that the sticker is already, but if you want to either increase the size of the sticker slightly, or if you want to decrease it, you can do that by clicking down on one of these transform handles, and you can either drag out or drag in a little bit. You want to be careful with making your stickers too much bigger than they've already been designed for, because you will start to lose quality really quickly. So if you're going to increase the size, only do it slightly. When you're happy with how it looks, you're going to click on the green check mark to commit your changes. And now I'm going to pop my photo bin back up. I'm going to add this arrow. So again, I have my top layer and my layers palette selected, and I'm going to click over to this arrow, and with my move tool selected, I'm going to click and drag the arrow down to the thumbnail of my layout and let go. And now I'm going to click and drag it into place. Now I actually want my arrow to be facing the other direction. So to do that, I'm going to hover my mouse on one of these corner transform handles until I see this little bendy arrow. And when I have that, I can click down and I can start to rotate my sticker so that it's the direction that I want it to be. If I hold down Shift, it will make it turn it so that it's a complete 180 turn. When I'm happy with how it looks, I can click on this green check mark to commit my changes, and then again I can move it into place, and I kind of want to layer it over this heart sticker. And again, if you want your sticker to be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, all you need to do is click down on one of these corner transform handles and either drag your mouse in or out. Now that I have these stickers in place, I can go ahead and close down the files that are open. And I can do that easily by going up here to these tabs and clicking on the X to close those down. Next up, I want to add a label to this card where I can add a date to it. To do that, I'm going to go up here to File and Open, or I can use the hotkey commands of Command and O on a Mac or Control and O on a PC. I'm going to navigate to the place where I have the kit I want to use. And again, I'm going to use the Adventure Awaits edition. And I'm going to choose this date sticker and click open. If I pop my photo bin back open, you will see that it's down here as a thumbnail. So clicking on the thumbnail of the layout, we want to make sure again that we have the very top layer selected so that our sticker doesn't get hidden when we move it over. Clicking back over to the sticker, we want to make sure that our move tool is selected by either clicking on this icon or doing the hotkey command of V. And we're going to click and drag it down to the layout and let go. And you will see it's popped up right in the center right here. And with my move tool still selected, I'm going to click it and drag it over to my card. Now once again, if you want to slightly increase the size of your sticker or if you want to decrease it, just click on a side transform handle and drag it in or out. When you're happy with the size that you have, click on the green check mark to commit your changes, and then you can use your move tool or your arrow keys to nudge your sticker into place. Now that I have this sticker in place, I want to add the date on top of it. So again, I'm going to make sure that my top layer is selected, and I'm going to choose the type tool. You can either click on the T or you can do the hotkey command of T. We're going to make sure that we have the horizontal type tool. I'm going to use the Christina font. I'm going to use black for my color, so to do that I'm going to click down on my color picker and I'm going to click on this color wheel. And down here in the hex codes, I'm going to type 6 zeros. And that will give me pure black, and click OK. My size I want to be about 36, so I can type in 36. And the leading we don't need to worry about because we're only going to do a single line of text here. Now we're going to create a cursor by clicking down, and I'm going to type the month and the year, and when I'm happy with that, I'm going to click on the check mark to commit. Now I can use my move tool to move my date into place, and you will see that my date is slightly too big for my sticker. So there's a couple things I can do. I can either go back to my sticker layer over here and slightly increase the size of my sticker, or I can edit my type to be a little bit smaller. And there's a couple ways that you can do that as well. You can either double click on this type thumbnail and it will let you edit this line of type, and we can go over here and type in a different size. Or the other thing that we can do is with that type layer selected and with our move tool selected, you will see that we have these transform handles all around it. So we can click on one of these corner transform handles and we can slightly decrease the size. When we're happy with the size, we can click on the green check mark to commit and use the move tool or our arrow keys to nudge it into position. Now that we have our date sticker in place, we can go ahead and close down this tab by clicking on the X. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use some letter stickers to add a title up in this card right here. So I'm going to go to File and Open, and I'm in that Adventure Awaits collection, and I'm going to navigate to the place where I have my alphabet stickers. I'm going to choose this kind of reddish color alphabet, and you will see that when you open the alphabet, it's all on one file. So all of these letters are all on one file. So if I tried to click and drag this, it would take all of these letters, and that's not what we want to do. We want to get these individual letters so that we can spell out a title. When you buy alphabets from digital stores, you'll either see them as one layer, as you see them here, or you will see each of the letters saved off individually. So I'm going to teach you how to cut apart these letters and add them to your layout. We're going to go over here to our tools and we're going to select the rectangular marquee tool. Down here in our options, we want to make sure that we have the rectangular marquee tool. we want to make sure that we are drawing a new selection. Our feathering is set to 0, and our aspect is set to normal. Now I'm going to draw a selection over the letter that I want to add to my layout. To do that, all I have to do is click down and draw over the letter that I want, and you will see I have this rectangular selection over the letter D. Now I'm going to use my keyboard and type Command and C if I'm on a Mac, or Control and C if you're on a PC, to copy that layer. Now I'm going to switch over to my layout, and I'm going to zoom in so I can see this card that I'm going to add my letters to, and I do that by typing Command and the plus key, or Control and the plus key if you're on a PC. And now that I have this top layer selected in the layers palette, I'm going to go ahead and type Command and V, and this pastes a copy of that letter, or if I'm on a PC, I'm going to do Control and V. Now I'm going to select the Move tool by either selecting it in the tools, or I can type the letter V, and I'm going to move this letter into position. To add my next letter, I'm going to switch back over to my alphabet, and I'm going to switch to my rectangular marquee tool, and I can either draw a brand new selection, just like we did with the letter D, or you can see that I have this selection already drawn, so I can click down and move it over to my U. I'm going to type Command and C, or Control and C, switch over to my layout, type Command and V, or Control and V, select my Move tool, and click and drag my letter into place. Again, I'm going to switch back over to my alphabet, and this time I'm going to show you what happens if I just draw a new selection. I'm going to select my rectangular marquee tool, and you'll see I still have this one highlighted, but as soon as I click down to draw another selection, the one around the U disappears. So I have this R selected now, so I'm going to type Command and C, switch to my layout, and type Command and V, or Control and V, switch to my Move tool, and click and drag my layer into place. I'm going to continue the same process until I have my whole title filled out here. Okay, now that I have all my letters on my layout, I do want to show you one little trick that you can use when you're adding letters to your layout. If you have a letter that you're going to add twice, you can actually make a copy of one of the letters that you already have on your layout. So to do that, you can select the letter that you want to make a copy of with your Move tool, and you're going to hold down your Alt key if you're on a PC, or your Option key, and see this little double arrow that appears? That means that it's going to create a copy. So I just click down now with my mouse and I drag it out, and it's made a copy. So that's just a little shortcut that you can use instead of drawing a selection and copying over a letter multiple times. One thing I want to point out is that the more that we add to our layout, the more layers that we're going to have in our layers palette over here. And it can start to get kind of confusing what every layer is. So you can click on it and you will see what layer it is based on the bounding box that shows up around it. But to help you in your organization, the thing that you can do is you can go over here and you can actually rename these layers. So I can go over here to this layer 34, and this is an N over here, and I can double click where it says layer 34 and type N. That way I know that it's my layer that has this N in it. And I can do that for every layer if I want to. And you can go back and you can do it for the other stickers that you added as well. And this is something that you can do as you're building your layout to make the process a little bit smoother. I want to make sure that these letters are all lined up along their edges. So to do that, I'm going to make sure that I have all of these layers selected in my layers panel. And to do that, I'm going to click down on the D, and I'm going to hold my Shift key and select my O at the very top. And you will see now over in this layers palette that it has selected all of these layers. Now down here at the bottom, when you have your move tool selected and you have all of these layers selected, you will see you have these alignment tools, and these will help to get these stickers lined up exactly. So I'm going to align my bottom edges, and you will see that they kind of shifted a little bit. And you can use some of these other tools as well if you want to work on your spacing. Now that I have these aligned how I want them to be, with all of these still selected, a little trick that I can do is that I can link these layers. And what that does is it still preserves them each in their own layer so that I can go back and edit them individually. But if I decide that I want to move this, I can move it as a group now. So even if I clicked off of one of them and I clicked again on this O, it would select this whole title. So when I click and move it, it moves it as a group. Next, I'm going to align the letters in the mountain. So again, I'm going to click on the M and scroll up and hold the Shift key, and I'm going to click down on the N, and all of these layers are now selected, and I'm going to align my bottom edges. Now I could use some of these other tools to align mountain, but sometimes it doesn't really work very well. It depends on what you're trying to align. So if I tried to use this middle alignment tool to space evenly in between my letters, watch what happens. So see, I'm more crowded over here than I am over here. So it just depends what elements you're using and what you're trying to align. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm actually going to individually just kind of scoot some of these letters over by selecting them and then using my move tools to kind of nudge them over. And now when I'm happy with how they look between the letters, I'm going to again select my M layer in my layers palette, and I'm going to hold the Shift key and select the N, and I'm going to click on this link and link them all. And now I can easily move this word as one unit where I want it to be. Now if I want to go back and unlink these letters for any reason, I can go over here to my layers palette and select my layers again and right click and choose unlink layers, and it will turn all of those links off. Now that we have our stickers in place on our layout, I'm going to show you one more thing that you can add to your stickers to give them a little bit of pop and depth to your layout. So I'm going to zoom out by typing the Command and minus key on the Mac or the Control and minus key on the PC, and I'm going to show you how you can add a drop shadow. If you will look over here in your layers panel, you will see that next to our clipping mask layers that we added our cards and our pictures to, you will see each layer has this little FX sign on it. This means that there is some sort of style that has been added to this layer. And in this instance, it's a drop shadow. Now we just want to copy this drop shadow because we want all of our stickers and our elements and our clipping masks to have the same drop shadow throughout. So to do that, we're going to click on this layer that has this FX sign on it. We're going to right click on it, and from this menu, we're going to choose Copy Layer Style. Now we can paste that same style onto any layer in the layout. So I'm going to go over here to where I have this heart layer and this arrow layer and this date sticker, and I can select all three at the same time by selecting my bottom one and then holding the Shift key and selecting the top one, and now you see that all three of these are selected. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Paste Layer Style. Now if you zoom in a little bit, you will see that now I have this nice little drop shadow that gives my elements a little bit of dimension, whereas before this white was kind of blending into this white card and you were losing the effect that it was a circle. I'm going to do the same thing up here to my Durango Mountain title by selecting my bottom layer, going up to the very top one, holding Shift, clicking down. Now you see all of these letters are selected. I'm going to right click and choose Paste Layer Style. And now you will see I have this nice dimension going around all of these letters. I will zoom out. Now that this layout is all complete, I can save it by going up to File, Save As. I'm going to give my file a name. In the format, I want to choose Photoshop because we want to preserve all of those layers. In case anything needs to be edited, we can go back and edit it easily. And we're going to choose Save. Now, if I want to send this off to a printer to be printed, I need to actually save it in a JPEG format. So to do that, I'm going to go to File and Save As, give my layout a name, and in format, I'm going to change it to JPEG and click Save. In the image options, I want to make sure that my quality is set to maximum and click OK. And now we have a copy that we can send to our printer. If you have any additional questions on how to add stickers to your layout, you can email us at any time at digital@beckyhiggins.com.